Hello, hello. This is the Ultimate You with Coach Q. I have my man Pierre Evans with us today. We are going to give you all some enlightenment. We are going to show you how to live to dominate. So I'm super excited that I have Pierre with me today. I met him, let's see, what was maybe a little less than a year ago now, Pierre. Is that about right?
Yeah. I say about that, about around that year mark in between there somewhere. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and I met him through social media. That'll show you the power of social media. I'm always wanting to connect with those that are rocking it. And, I reached out to him. We met up a couple times, and, we've actually been in the works of planning and doing some work together. So that'll just show you the power of social media right there. But I want to just go ahead and kick this off. Pierre, will you let us know who you are and what do you do?
Man, my name's Pierre Evans. I'm from that big city, Providence, Rhode Island. And I mean, it's really not big, the little speck on the map. I've been in the auto industry, man. I probably spent about 7 years in the industry. And probably about 3 years in, I said, you know what? This isn't what I want to do. It's what I do, but it's not what I want to do. And that's the thing, man. Some of y'all, you do something and you get lost in what you're doing and you forget about what you want to do because you become comfortable with what you're doing is providing for you, right? So, and I was there and I was falling into that trap. And I said, you know what, man? I went out to an event, ran into to Eric Thomas, heard him speak live, like watching the YouTube videos was cool. And they was dope until I actually seen them live and it was something different. And I said, man, I want to do that. And I was fortunate enough to be able to, now I'm mentored by Eric and CJ. And it's been a great relationship. And they got me to write the first book. And one day I'm sitting in the office at the dealership and I had my book in my hand. And I'm like, man, why am I here? Like I took time and invested and I put it into this book. And this book was something that was thought about, but I wasn't feeding the vision. And when I had it in my hands, I'm like, man, this ain't it. This just is not it. And I made the change, made the adjustments. And now I coach, I train, I speak full time. And I'm just so into this life, man. And now in the book, I put 15 lessons that helped me to change my life and go from being in the streets and living that movie life in the streets, that action movie, right? Where you don't know if you're going to make it home or not. I put 15 lessons in the book that helped me to change my life. And now at this Live to Dominate tour, that's going to just start off in Arizona, then it's going to San Antonio, and then I think Houston. I'm telling you, I'm not just going to tell you the lessons, I'm going to show you how to implement the lessons.
Man, that's amazing. So let's backtrack a little bit because I know that for some, it sounds like it just happened so quick. But so how do you really connect with a huge influencer like Eric Thomas and become mentored by him? How does that work?
Man, number one, it was, being at the right place at the right time. And I didn't wait for things to be perfect. I ran in, I'm sitting there, right? It's my wife and myself. And we're in the front row. See, that's why you can't sit in the back. People don't see the people in the back, right? Like going to school, you're like, I want the back of the bus. Before we had to sit in the back, right? And then it became cool to sit in the back. And now you sit in the back because you don't want to be called on, right? I sat in the front, and that wasn't even my idea. My wife's like, yo, let's go. And she got us in the front, and we're sitting there. And CJ came over, and he said a few things to us, and we talked real quick, and he went back to doing what he was doing. And I went out to go to the restroom, and I'm coming back, and I seen E. And I'm talking with E in the hallway, and I get back in. My wife's like, you was gone for a minute. Where was you? I'm like, yeah, I was talking to Eric Thomas in the hallway. And after that conversation and then seeing him speak, like the light bulb went off. It said, I got a story. And see, everyone has a story. My story might be a little more dramatic than someone else's, but then somebody else's story might be more amazing than mine. Right. Understand that when you make the necessary moves to get your story exposed, it doesn't have to be the best story. It just has to be the most exposed story. So when I'm sitting there and, I heard they announced they're going to be in Dallas, I said to my wife, yep, I'm going. And I'm getting the VIP ticket. And the VIP ticket was $1,000, right? And I'm like, yep, I'm going to go. And I went to the event. And part of the VIP was we got to sit down for an hour for a one-on-one with Eric and CJ. And I'm telling you, when I sat down with these dudes, I had like my notebook, right, full of questions, the whole list. And the talk went from being an hour to about 2 hours. And at the end of it, he looked over at C. He was like, yo, I think dude really want work. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think he really want to do it. He was like, yo, you ready to go all in? I'm like, I don't know. I said, I'm all in. He's like, you don't even know what all in is yet. I said, no, but I understand that I'm willing to do what it takes. And from there, man, we just, built that relationship to, where I wasn't even thinking about being a speaker to now I can pick up my phone and call the #1 speaker in the world and get advice and, and get information and get the lessons I need to push me to that next level. Right? So when you have a coach that's on the next level, it helps you to get to the next level. Now, you never skip levels, but you get through each level faster than if you didn't have a coach. So most people say, I don't need to pay nobody for no advice. I don't need to have a coach. I can learn this all by myself, the power of the internet. Yep. While you waste 24 hours studying something, I pick up the phone, and because of the relationship, I'm like, hey, this is what's going. You see what I mean? And then, boom, do this, this, and this. I don't need to take the 24 hours. Why? Because I paid the dues to have this. And that's what you got to realize when you build your relationships. When your network will definitely determine your net worth. If your network sucks, your net worth will suck, right? You're staying where you are. 30 grand hangs around 30 grand. 100 grand hangs around 100 grand. But the 100 grand that wants the 250 gets around the 250. Right, so you got to keep expanding. So that relationship been huge, man, and it built from there. And it's been about 4 years now since we had that relationship.
Wow, that's incredible. So let me ask you, because this kind of stood out to me when you said that you went for the VIP ticket, right? First of all, what was the thought behind getting the VIP ticket as opposed to just the general admission? And secondly, was that a stretch for you at that time to do that?
It wasn't a huge stretch, but anytime you say I'm gonna spend $1,000 to go talk to somebody, right? That's like, is it gonna be worth the $1,000? But what I knew is if I didn't spend $1,000, I would have only been able to wonder if it would have been worth the $1,000, right? So the question is really, what makes you willing to be? Are you willing to lose something to gain something? So I was willing to take the chance of losing $1,000 to try to gain information.
Right.
The information
that I skin in the game, right?
Yeah. So why should I work with someone who has no skin in the game? My time's valuable. So if I'm investing my time, then I got skin in the game with you. Right. If you're not willing to invest, then that means you're not serious and you don't believe in yourself. So when I say so think about it. You got the opportunity to rock with one of the best speakers in the world at that time. He wasn't even the #1 yet, right? To be able to rock with the best speaker to one of the best speakers in the world, and sit there and be a speaker. Like what else? What was there to really think about?
Right.
Nothing. I'm sitting there. I'm writing down. See, this is where you go wrong. I wrote down every issue that I was having. So in the conversation, as I'm asking questions, I'm looking for the solution, but to the solution of what I'm looking for. A lot of you get starstruck or you get in environments and really don't know where you need help. So you're asking questions that have nothing to do with what you're doing, and it's not helping you. So I had everything written down. So when he's answering questions, I'm writing it down. And when I left there, just after that conversation, halfway through, I'm like, I got my 1,000. I got my 1,000. You know what I'm saying? So
nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. So you had that in mind as well, going in, that you were putting skin in the game and you were going for the long haul. It wasn't just, I'm gonna go here and, connect with a couple people, right? No, it was just you had a game plan with it. No, I love that.
Absolutely, man. Too many times, people say I want to start this business, so I want to get involved in this venture, I want to do this, but they don't become committed. They spend $100 here, $300 here. You can walk away from something. If you spend $300, you're like, man, it's $300. I'm going to cut my ties. You spend $100, you're like, man, whatever. I eat that out. You start getting $5 grand. Hey, if you got $6 grand and you put $5 grand into something, you're going to look at it different. right?
Yeah.
You're going to look at it different. But if you doubt yourself and say, you know what, man, I got $6 grand, I'm not putting 5 into that. What you're saying to yourself is, the idea sounds good. Hearing yourself say it sounds good, but your belief in yourself is less than minimum. It's zero. You have no belief in yourself that at worst case scenario, you break even and make your money back. You see what I'm saying? Or you put you put 5 of your 6 and you make 4 back, you lost $1 grand. Are you willing to lose? If you're not willing to lose, you don't deserve the game.
Yeah, most definitely. I know a saying that I use with some of my coaches, some of my mentees and people that hire me to coach is that people that pay attention, right? You definitely, if you have some skin in the game, it's a whole different feeling, right? Than somebody who's getting something for free, or, they don't value it as much in my experience. So yeah, I definitely agree with you. Another point is when you said that some people are just starstruck, right? And they can't really get the full benefit of the relationship. I am what some people call a master connector. I connect with people all over. From influencers to, I'm just a people person, right? And I like what you said about you can't be starstruck, because one of the reasons that I'm able to connect with so high profile people is that I treat them like normal people. I treat them with respect, just like I would treat anybody else. But at the same time, I do have an intention behind it. Hey, I want to learn from you, right? And if I can bring value and give them something as well, even better, right? Because these people, they have people around them all the time that are just wanting to take, right? So if you can actually offer something as well, even better.
See, but that's key right there, right? Most people are like, man, I can't wait to see such and such so I can ask this. Before you meet them, you need to prepare yourself to the point that in a conversation you have something to give. It's like one of the people that I want to meet, man, and it's crazy because I always say it, is I want to meet Jay, right? I want to meet Jay-Z. I want the opportunity to sit down and have a conversation. And I have questions that I know I want to ask. And with them questions, there's things that I'll be able to deliver that hopefully is something, it's a way for me to give back through me asking the question. So when I'm asking the question, I want my question to make you have to think a little bit. Because when you think, I want Jay to be like, whoa, like I ain't think about that one. You know what I'm saying? Because
hold on a second.
Yo, that's a question. I always used to want to be like, whoa, that's a great question. And I never could ask a great question, right? It took time to get there. So now I'm like, okay, yep, there's some questions I know I want to ask Jay, and I want them questions to be questions that will make him think. So he's like, yo, this dude took some time, right? Because that's my way of giving. What can I give the dude? What can I get a dude? Right? He's caked up. I can't give him like this, but there's something I can get him to think a little different, right? So I'm just be creative with it. Right.
Yeah. And I always say, I've never met a man that I couldn't learn something from. That's an old saying, but it's true. You can learn something from anyone. And same goes for these influencers. A lot of people think that they can't talk to influencers. They have nothing to offer them. I guarantee you that you know something that they don't know. You have some talent, some skill, some ideas that they have not thought about. I guarantee it.
Yeah. Yeah. And the crazy thing is, man, is that we all walk a different walk of life. And because our life might not seem privileged, we go into situations as we're less than what we are, right? We diminish our own value.
Yeah.
But understand that there's someone that's looking at you, at where you are, and they're like, man, I wish I could be there. You know what I'm saying? They're like, yo, I wish I could be where you are. You can't look at where you are as it's the worst place ever. There's value there. There's principles there. There's lessons there. You get so caught up in looking at the bad that you overlook the good. You're like, like the streets are terrible and people are getting murdered. Listen, if the streets are terrible, people are getting murdered, people are getting robbed, people are getting shot, stabbed, people are going to jail. Your skill to survive is off the charts. Your skill to withstand pressure is off the charts. Like you gotta think, man, when Enron was going under and people jumping out of buildings and committing suicide. Where I come from, if you can't pay, you just can't pay. You know what I'm saying? We're not breaking
Whole different
free.
mindset.
You can take pressure, and when you go into environments where it's high pressure and you're mellow because your freedom and your life ain't on the line, it's just I might lose some money. I've been broke a lot of times. I know how to get it back. You see what I'm saying? So now I'm like, I know how to take this skill and I know how to move it to this environment. And then I know how to go one step further and take the stuff they're learning in this environment and learn it and put it with the skill I have. And it makes me more valuable than the people in the environment that I'm going to, and more valuable than the environment that I left. Why? Because I'm cross-breeding information. You see what I'm saying? So when you learn how to, like you said, a master connector, you connect people. You have to connect information the same way. Where are you? Where did you come from? Where do you want to go? You learn all of that. You bring what you got. You put it together. You different.
Man, boom, there it is. Most definitely. All right. So for this Live to Dominate tour that you're talking about, and I'm excited about this too, because I'm actually going to be sharing the stage with you here April 7th in Phoenix. So tell us a little bit about that mindset. What do you think it really takes for somebody to dominate in their life or in their business, relationships, whatever it may be? What does it take to dominate?
Yeah, the first thing, man, is really getting a clear vision of yourself, understanding where you are, who you are, why you want what you want, what's in your way, right? And I'm going through it a little fast, but I want you to get it. The key word is you. What's in your way? What do you want? Where do you want to go, right? How do you feel? What's stopping you? Because everything stops and ends with you. If you do not fix you, you can escape the environment you're in, but you're still bringing the same dirty old you. And because you're bringing the same dirty old you, at some point, them issues resurface, right? So to get into the mindset of living to dominate, I just need you to ask yourself, like, number one, am I 100% happy with my life, my personal life, my family life? Am I 100% happy with my career? Am I 100% happy with my business? If you answer no to any one of them, great. Go one step further and say, how come? Right? How come? And when you say how come, I want you to say, how come I'm not happy in family? How come I'm not happy in business, in personal, in career? And answer the question. When you answer the question, go a little deeper and keep going deeper and deeper until you get to the problem. And the problem is just going to be you. Like, I had a problem with not being grateful, right? Not being grateful and not being satisfied. And I had to realize that I had to be grateful. Not being grateful was being completely inconsiderate. It was being completely like stupid minded, right? And there's probably some other way to say it, but it was being stupid minded. So I said, okay, cool. I need to be grateful for where I am, but I can never be satisfied. And it's okay not to be satisfied because I'm grateful. I appreciate what I have, but I still want more. But now I had to say, well, what is more? Right? And people say, well, does more ever end? Do you ever get to the point where you say, okay, enough is enough? No, because I'm breathing. I don't want to be satisfied. I just want to be grateful, right? I want to be satisfied with taking a month vacation if I want to. So you got to ask yourself this question. And when you do it, you have to be completely honest with yourself. You have to get in the mirror. You have to go in the room. You have to have that one-on-one conversation with you, and you have to speak about it. And it's going to hurt so bad to the point where you might want to cry. And it's okay. You're by yourself, right? If you're a guy, it's okay to cry, right? Don't feel like, you're a chump because you shed a tear.
Yep, get in touch. Get in touch. We all do.
Think about it. A man will feel that way, but if somebody passed close to him, the man will cry. So you can cry because someone passed and they have no worry in the world. They're not going to be sick anymore. They don't have to worry about anything. They're going to a better place. But you won't cry because you're letting your dreams die. That's like, it just makes no sense, right? So just to be able to get to that point where you look at you differently, you will now fall into a mindset to say, if it has nothing to do with progressing me, right? Taking my life to another level, why do it? You're creating a dominating mindset now. And excuses start to kick in now, right? You start to get all these other little excuses. Identify every excuse, eliminate every excuse. But when you find the excuse, don't take care of the surface. Don't take care of the symptoms. And that's what we do, right? We take care of the symptoms to things and we never get to the root of it. We got to get to the root of it. And when we get to the root of it, boom, we can eliminate it. And keep getting rid of these
Okay.
excuses and put it in with action steps. And then understand who you are as a brand. Like as a brand, who are you? You say, oh, I don't have a business. I work for somebody. I don't care. You're a brand. When you go in a house, they see you one way. When you go to work, they see you another way. When you're around your friends, they see you one way. Then when you get around another group of friends, they see you another way. Everyone has to see you the same. This makes your brand consistent. This builds your confidence. And when your confidence goes up, like it's only because your competence went up. So your confidence in who you are and where you want to go and what do you believe in, these principles you stand by, it increases your confidence, so your confidence goes through the roof. Man, I'm telling you, listen, when you just them 3 things there, you deal with self-expectations and brand. I don't even want to go through the rest of them, but I'm telling you, just going through them 3 there, your confidence will grow and your confidence will grow. And I'm telling you, you will stop doubting yourself. That's the only reason you're not winning.
Wow. Yeah, I can tell just by those tips right there. I know our viewers got value from that, just from that alone. So imagine if they are in the house April 7th in Phoenix for Live to Dominate. I mean, I'm excited about it. You know, I'm ready to learn, not only teach because I'll be speaking there, but I'm ready to learn as well. I mean, because it's an ongoing process. And just like you said, you know what? Whether people think about it consciously or not, we're always building a brand. Always. Whether you say I'm not building a brand or not, you are your brand. No matter where you go, you're building a brand. So you might as well be conscious about it, right?
Hey, listen, man. I'm so like excited about just the whole thing, man. This is the first event that's happening in Phoenix that I'm doing, and I'm extremely excited about it. And what I want to do is, for the rest of this night, every ticket that goes, just bring a guest with you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Get your ticket. Have them go half on the ticket with you. Bring a guest with you. And I'm saying that because if you come by yourself and you don't bring your significant other, if you come by yourself and you don't bring that person that calls you every day, you're gonna take information and you're gonna be on fire. You're gonna be ready to do something, but you're going right back around the same poison. It's like taking a dope fiend out of rehab and let's put you back in the dope infested environment. I want you to bring that person that's close to you because I need both of you to be on fire so when you leave, you get to work. Yeah. So for the rest of this night.
So every ticket that somebody buys, they can bring somebody with them.
Yeah, bring a guest. Yep.
All right. Hey, you guys heard it. So we're going to put the link for the event here so that you guys can get a ticket. And you heard it here right from the man, Pierre, that you get a ticket, you get to bring your significant other, your business partner, whoever that person is with you, so they can reap the benefits as well. So we're going to put that in there. And besides the event, how can people find you, Pierre?
Man, everything's Pierre Evans. IG Pierre 5QL on the book Pierre Evans, on the YouTube Pierre Evans. You have the whole YouTube channel every week, new videos coming out. Easy to find.
All right. Well, there it is. Do you have any last words for the viewers before we head on out?
Now, listen, man. I wasn't going to say nothing, but so, no, I'm going to keep it real simple, right? Real brief. When you study what successful people do and then you do what you study, you will be successful. You have to stop just studying what successful people do, but then not doing what it is that you study. You take it in and you're studying their arrival at their destination. When they arrive at their destination and you study that, that's none of your business. You're nowhere near that level of information. They can't even explain. They can't even explain it in a way you can understand it because there's so many things along the journey that you have to learn before you can implement the things of where they are now. So study their journey and then implement what you study and watch what happens.
Just watch. Man, this was a great interview with my man Pierre Evans here on The Ultimate You with Coach Q. Remember, live to dominate. And I want to personally see you all April 7th in Phoenix for the Live to Dominate conference. All right. We're going to put all the info here in the comments, and I'll see you there.